Hi every wise reader, welcome to the next video from Read Wiser, a YouTube channel dedicated to helping you improve yourself through books. Today, we're diving deep into the massive and insightful world of Robert Greene in his book, The Laws of Human Nature. Before we dive into the profound insights of this book, please take a moment to support us by liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Your support helps us create more valuable content. Thank you. Have you ever been completely blindsided by someone's behavior? A loyal colleague suddenly sabotages you. A friend's compliments feel strangely like insults. Or maybe you've watched yourself do something completely irrational, only to wonder, why did I do that? We all navigate a complex social world, but most of us are doing it without a map, unable to read the hidden intentions and motivations of others. Robert Greene argues that we are all driven by deep, primal and often dark forces that we are completely unaware of. This book is his attempt to give us the codebook, to finally understand why people do what they do. The Laws of Human Nature is Robert Greene's most ambitious work, a deep dive into the 18 laws that secretly govern our behavior. Greene argues that despite our modern sophistication, our actions are still controlled by the same primal forces that shaped our earliest ancestors. Forces like irrationality, narcissism, envy, and short-sightedness are not just flaws in a few bad people. They are universal laws that affect every single one of us, every single day. Greene's central thesis is that we are all essentially asleep to these forces. We are driven by emotions we don't understand. We wear social masks we mistake for our true selves. And we are pulled into destructive group dynamics without even realizing it. The only way to break free and gain control of our lives is to wake up. This book is a field guide, a codebook for becoming a calm, strategic, and rational observer of humanity. It's about learning to decode the hidden intentions of others while ruthlessly confronting the same dark tendencies in yourself. Today, we'll explore the 7 core parts of this journey, starting with the most important person you must understand, yourself. The first and most critical law is to master your emotional self. Greene states that we are not rational creatures by default. We like to think we're in control, planning our lives. But in reality, we are governed by a powerful emotional self that makes us react based on our feelings, not on reality. This leads to all our worst decisions and negative patterns. This emotional self is fueled by deep-seated cognitive biases, like the confirmation bias, where we only look for evidence that supports what we already believe, or the superiority bias, where we naturally assume we are more rational and moral than others. The solution is to develop rationality, which Greene defines as the active ability to counteract our emotions, to think instead of just react. This means recognizing your biases, increasing your reaction time, and stepping back before making a decision. But it's not just about our immediate emotions. We must also confront our shadow. This is the dark side of our personality, made up of all the insecurities, aggressive impulses, and selfish desires we repressed as children to fit in. This hidden energy doesn't just disappear, it leaks out in anxiety, emotional outbursts, contradictory behavior, and self-destructive acts. By becoming aware of your shadow, you can control it and even channel its energy productively. Finally, this self-mastery extends to your fundamental attitude, which acts as a lens that colors your perception of everything. A constricted or fearful attitude becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, making you see only limitations and leading to self-sabotage. By consciously forcing yourself to adopt an expansive and open attitude, seeing challenges as opportunities, you can fundamentally change your circumstances. By mastering this inner world, we've taken the first step, self-awareness. But how do we apply this understanding to the people around us? How do we see their true motivations when they are trying so hard to hide them? Let's find out in the next chapter. Greene argues that to understand others, you must first overcome your own self-absorption. We all exist on a narcissistic spectrum. We're naturally focused on our own needs and feelings. But this self-focus makes us terrible observers. The tool to overcome this is empathy, which Greene treats as an active skill, not just a passive feeling. It's the disciplined effort of turning your focus outward. He breaks it down into visceral empathy, feeling others, moods through their nonverbal cues, and analytic empathy, understanding their values and background by gathering information. Once you do this, you can begin to see past their mask. Everyone wears a social mask, or persona, that projects their best qualities. They seem confident, humble, and diligent, but this is a performance. Their true feelings are constantly leaking through what Greene calls the second language of nonverbal cues, a fake smile that doesn't reach the eyes, a brief flash of contempt, a sudden shift in vocal tone. These are the real indicators of their feelings. But the ultimate goal is to see beyond the mask and their words to their character. A person's character is their set of deeply ingrained compulsive patterns formed in childhood. Look at their actions over time. Do they always quit when things get tough? Do they always blame others for failure? Do they repeat the same mistakes in relationships? This pattern, not their reputation, is their true character. And Greene says it is the one thing you must judge them on. So, we've learned to master our own mind and how to observe the true character of others. Now, what do we do with that knowledge? How do we use it to motivate people and get them to agree with our ideas? Let's find out in the next chapter. When you try to influence people, your first instinct is probably to argue, to state your case logically. Greene says this is the worst thing you can do. People are naturally defensive. Arguing just makes them double down. The key to influence is to first lower their resistance by confirming their self-opinion. Everyone holds a core belief that they are autonomous, intelligent, and a good person. By validating this, making them feel smart and in control, you lower their defenses and make them open to your suggestion, often letting them feel it was their idea all along. Next, you must understand the law of covetousness. We are all driven by a powerful desire for what we don't have. Instead of chasing people, make them chase you. You can make people want you or your ideas by creating an air of mystery, using strategic absence to make them miss you, or showing that other people desire you, which creates a powerful sense of rivalry. Finally, this ties into true authority. People are deeply ambivalent and fickle toward leaders. They want to be led, but they also resent being led. Never fall for the entitlement curse, the belief that you are owed respect because of your title. This makes you lazy and insensitive, and people will unconsciously resent you. True authority is not a position, it's an art. You earn it by projecting a vision that serves the group's interests, not your own, and by demonstrating a powerful work ethic and deep empathy for the group. When you make people feel smart and serve their interests, they will want to follow you. This explains how to persuade the average person. But what about those who are not just defensive, but actively toxic? How do we spot and defend against the darkest human traits? Let's find out in the next chapter. Greene dedicates significant time to two of the most dangerous and hidden human traits, envy and aggression. Envy is the most hidden of all. Nobody admits to being envious because it's a painful admission of inferiority. Instead, envy disguises itself. It can look like moral indignation or resentment. It can even look like praise. This is poisonous praise, like when a friend compliments your new success by mentioning how much money you must be making or how lucky you got. It's a subtle dig meant to make you feel bad. Greene warns that envy is most dangerous among friends and peers, who are often drawn to you because of what you have but will use their closeness to sabotage you effectively. You must look for the micro-expressions of disappointment when you share good news. Aggression is similarly misunderstood. It doesn't just come from malice. It comes from a deep-seated feeling of helplessness and a chronic need for control. It's a primal desire to assert power. You must learn to spot the sophisticated aggressor, the boss or colleague, who cloaks their will to dominate behind a mask of rationality or righteousness. Even more common is the passive aggressor. This is the person who controls you through guilt, by playing the victim, by procrastinating on purpose or by shifting blame. They are masters of indirect warfare. The key, Greene says, is to not repress your own aggressive energy, which leads to weakness or passive aggression. Instead, you must channel it into controlled aggression, using it for ambition, persistence, and a healthy fearlessness. Understanding these dark traits gives us a powerful defensive lens. But to truly get ahead, we need more than just defense. We need to develop a superior mindset that helps us navigate the future. Let's find out in the next chapter. To achieve mastery, Greene argues you must consciously overcome three of humanity's most self-defeating tendencies. The first is short-sightedness. As humans, we are wired to react emotionally to whatever is right in front of us, the latest news, the most recent crisis. This puts us in tactical hell, where we're just putting out fires all day, losing sight of our long-term goals. You must train yourself to elevate your perspective, to detach from the immediate drama, and focus on the larger trends. The second tendency is grandiosity. A little success is a dangerous thing. It can inflate your ego, making you believe you have the golden touch. You lose touch with reality, overestimate your abilities, and forget the role that luck and other people played in your success. This grandiosity, as seen in the fall of many CEOs, always leads to a disastrous crash. You must consciously know your limits and channel grandiose energy into practical grandiosity, where your greatness is tied to your work, not your ego. But the most dangerous tendency is aimlessness. Without a clear direction, we are pulled by our moods, by others' opinions, and by false purposes like the pursuit of pleasure or money. The antidote is to find your sense of purpose, or your life's calling. This is an internal guidance system based on your unique primal inclinations. When you connect to this calling, it provides you with focus, resilience, and an unstoppable momentum that others will find charismatic. This sense of purpose gives you a strong individual core. But how does that core hold up when you're thrown into a group? How do we stay true to ourselves when faced with powerful social forces? Let's find out in the next chapter. You may think you're an independent individual, but Greene argues your identity is profoundly shaped by three invisible social forces. First is gender rigidity. We all have both masculine and feminine qualities, but society pressures us to repress one side to fit a proper gender role. This makes us inauthentic and rigid. Men repress their sensitive anima, and women repress their assertive animus. We then project these lost qualities onto our romantic partners, falling in love with the fantasy of our other half rather than a real person, which is why so many relationships fail. Second is the law of conformity. When you join any group, your social personality takes over. You unconsciously start to imitate others, adopt the group's emotions, and prioritize fitting in over thinking for yourself. This is the downward pull of the group, and it can lead to irrational, primitive, and tribal behavior. Third is generational myopia. We are all products of our generation or zeitgeist. Our values and perspectives are shaped in our youth as a reaction against the previous generation. This generational lens is a powerful, constraining influence that we rarely, if ever, notice. The only way to become a true individual is to become consciously aware of these three forces. You must reconnect with your repressed masculine or feminine side, resist the pull of groupthink, and understand your generational biases. This awareness is the only way to think for yourself and control your own destiny. We've now explored the forces within us, between us, and in our groups. But there is one final, ultimate law that governs all of human nature, one that we spend our entire lives trying to avoid. Let's find out in the next chapter. The final and most profound law is the law of death denial. As a species, we are unique in our awareness that we will die, and we are terrified of it. Greene argues that we instinctively repress this thought, and this denial paradoxically drains our life of its vitality. We live in a state of sleep, avoiding risks, chasing petty distractions, and repressing our anxieties to numb ourselves to this ultimate reality. Greene's solution is to do the opposite, to actively and consciously confront our own mortality. This unleashes a paradoxical death effect. Fully understanding the shortness of life instills a powerful sense of urgency and purpose. It clarifies our values, helping us distinguish between what is trivial and what truly matters. it also makes us more resilient. By embracing our fate, including all of its pain and adversity, a philosophy called amor fati or love of fate, we stop wasting time complaining and instead use suffering as a tool to strengthen ourselves. Finally, confronting death is the ultimate tool for empathy. When we see our common mortality, we realize that every person, no matter their status, shares the same fate. This dissolves our petty feelings of superiority and separation and fosters a deep, authentic connection to all of humanity. As Greene shows, knowing how to die is the secret to knowing how to live. And that brings us to the end of these powerful laws, which together form a new way of seeing the world. So, what do we take away from the laws of human nature? It's easy to read this book as cynical, a dark look at our manipulative and selfish drives, but that isn't Greene's core message. The book is ultimately a call for radical self-awareness. Greene's argument is that these forces, our irrationality, our narcissism, our envy, our aggression, are only destructive when they are unconscious. When they are repressed, they control us from the shadows, causing us to act out in ways we regret. By shining a light on these laws, we take away their power. The journey of this book is the journey from being an unconscious reactor to a conscious observer. It's about transforming your primitive self-absorption into a higher, more developed empathy. It's about channeling your aggressive energy into productive, creative work. And it's about using your awareness of death to live a life of urgency and purpose. This isn't a book about manipulating others. It's a book about mastering yourself so you are no longer manipulated by your own nature. Robert Greene has given us a dense and powerful codebook for human behavior. But the real question is how we use it. Which of these laws do you see most often in your own life? Is it the pull of irrationality or the subtle sting of envy? More importantly, which law do you think is the most critical for us to master in today's world? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this summary valuable, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Read Wiser for more deep dives into the best self-improvement books. Thanks for watching.